Hi, I'm Monita, Senior Editor for Teaching Tolerance. And a special thing for me about this story was that no matter how hard it is to dig into the history of slavery, the Black teachers I talked to about teaching their Black students leaned into those feelings of pain and hurt so that they could teach their students accurately and authentically. And so I hope you learn from their wisdom and enjoy the story.
When the sun comes back, when the first quail calls, follow the drink and go. For the old man is waiting for, carry you to freedom, follow.
My name is Walter, and I was born a slave in Virginia. I've been working these tobacco fields since I was a boy, planting, harvesting, binding and stacking. It's back-breaking work, sun up to sundown. See, I sleep in a small wooden cabin with another family on an old hay mattress on the floor for a bed. No privacy. Still, I wouldn't be a house slave here for nothing. The mistress won't even get up to go across the room to get a drink of water. A Negro has to bring it to her. See, I was sold to this plantation in Kentucky when I was barely old enough to walk. I can still remember my mother running out of the big house, begging the master not to sell her baby. I was on the back of a wagon. The horses had started to pull away. The wagon wheels kicked up a great cloud of dust. Her cries faded, and that was the last time I ever saw my mother. Some time ago, I showed a God-given talent for woodwork. The master let me try my hand at carpentry and building, and I began to dream of using my skills to buy my freedom, like I heard of some slaves doing. But, well, then the master died. The son who inherited me has no interest in farming and told me that a skilled slave is worth a lot of money in the deep South. I cannot bear the thought of picking cotton for the rest of my life in Mississippi. By my reckoning, I'm almost 20 years old. I was born a slave, but I do not intend to die one. It is dark, and I'm on the edge of a forest. After the lights went out in the big house, I slipped out of my bed, pretending to use the necessary. See, years ago, an old feed hand told me about a place called Canada, where a Negro man can live free. All I know for sure about Canada is that it's north. So I find the North Star and start running. The old man told me there are folks above the Ohio River who can help me if I can just make it out of Kentucky. I know my chances are slim. Anybody spots a black man on his own will know he's a runaway. I've seen captured slaves put over the barrel and beat till the blood runs down. So what? I've got the scars on my back to prove you don't have to try escaping in order to get bloody. As day breaks, I can see the birds flying north after winter. They will show me the way. But in the distance I hear dogs barking. Can they have discovered me missing already? Or is it just a hunter? I have no idea how far I've come during the night, but I can't take the chance. I run through a stream to cover my scent and make a place to hide until the dogs pass me by or go the other way. This is how I live for I don't know how long. Running at night, hiding during the day, taking food where I can find it, fearing the sound of every dog. I've been hungry and tired for so many days I lost count. Finally, a great river lies before me. I know it must be the Ohio, the border between North and South, slave states and free states. It is too big to swim, and I'm too tired to keep going now. So I hide myself under leaves and sleep. And when I crawl out, my breath catches in my throat. A black man is standing 20 paces in front of me, staring at me. "Come with me," he says. As dawn breaks, I see a brick house high up on a hill. Lindsay, the man in the woods, told me about it when he took me to the boat we used to cross a river. He said the house belongs to a man who has helped many black folks to freedom. Lindsay brings the boat to the far bank of the river and tells me to knock at the house and say I'm a friend of a friend. I do as he says, and an old white man cracks the door and looks me over, sending a chill down my spine. But when he extends his hand and says, "My name is John," he invites me in, sits me down at a table where his wife gives me the finest meal I can remember. John's children gather around me like I'm a curiosity. "Haven't you ever had rhubarb pie?" a little girl asks me. I tell her slaves don't eat so good. We were allowed less than half a bushel of cornmeal per week for even 4 of us, and almost no meat and vegetables save for some fatback. The word fatback makes her screw her face up in disgust. After dinner, John tells me about Ohio. It is a free state, he says, but that doesn't mean I'm safe. I am what he calls a fugitive, and there are laws against me being here. Even folks who don't approve of slavery might turn me in because they can be punished for helping me. Not even safe for me to sleep in the main part of the house. He takes me instead to a cellar in his barn where I rest until the evening. That night, John gives me a rough map of places I can stay and tells me I should travel through Cleveland. From there, he says, I can cross Lake Erie into Canada. His wife packs me food for my journey, and I set out again, wondering, how will I make it across the whole state of Ohio? And if there will ever be a time when I don't have to hide or fear the sound of barking dogs. It has taken weeks, but I have arrived in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm amazed to see with my own eyes communities of free Negroes and to hear about others. For the past 2 weeks, I have traveled across Ohio like a spy, skirting through the woods, hiding in cellars or barns, taking on disguises. Many black families helped me along the way. I can hide among them and not stand out, but as John warned me, there are risks for folks helping a runaway slave, and big rewards for turning one in. Despite kindness shown to me by both blacks and whites, I'm never sure who to trust. I was introduced to a white man who offered to take me the rest of the way to Cleveland by train, posing as his servant. I thought running and hiding was tough, but being out in the open was downright terrifying. I felt every eye on me, certain they were viewing me with suspicion. They must know that folks try to sneak runaway slaves north by train. I want nothing more than to leap off the train and hide, but a gentleman assures me everything's okay. At last I hear the conductor shout, "Cleveland!" My heart leaps. But hearing the name can't compare to stepping out of the station and seeing a big city for the first time. Great buildings as far as I can see. Bustling crowds of both blacks and whites. My gentleman directs me to the home of a Negro family where I stay the night. They show me to my last stop in this country. A 2-story white house with 2 white chimneys like rabbit ears. It belongs to a wealthy man. They tell me he commands a boat that will take me across Lake Erie into Canada. My journey is almost done. I'm almost brave enough to think I have made it. I don't know what awaits me in Canada, but I do know this. I will not die a slave.
When the sun comes back, when the first quail calls, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is waiting for, carry you to freedom, follow the drinking gourd. Well, the riverbank is a mighty good road. Dead trees show you the way. Left foot, peg foot, traveling on. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old